welcome to a new video. I'm taking the Honda Trail 125 out for a ride. Earlier I took it in to get the maintenance done on it. So I figured I would just make the trip back a ride. Right now I'm on Preston Highway, which has a bunch of midday traffic, as you can see. It's a pretty nice day out. It's in the 60s with, you know, sun's out. It's not too hot when you're moving in the wind. So I'm going to go a different way. I'm not even sure where this goes. The majority of the time when I come out to this area, it's unfortunately go to the funeral home that's out this way. I was hoping to find somewhere to take this off-road, so we'll see where this goes. But taking this to get the service done, I take it over to CNC Power Sports, which is in Clarksville, Indiana, which means I have to take it across the 2nd Street Bridge, which I went ahead and made sure I got taken care of before the bridge has some maintenance stuff going on. Because I don't really want to deal with trying to get this across the bridge when that's all shut down, because it's not quite fast enough to take on Interstate 65 to take the other bridge across the river into Indiana. Because you can hit, you know, 55, 56. I think the top speed I've ever hit on this is 60. With the caveat being that was on flat ground with the wind at my back. I think it may have been a slight grade going down, so slightly sloped downhill. I would not expect to be able to hit those speeds at all times, in all conditions. You know, especially going uphill or into the wind. And I think I've gone through here before. It's hard to remember. Sometimes when I go on longer rides to certain parts of town, I just plug it into the GPS on my phone. My helmet has a speaker system, so it'll give the directions, and I'll set it to avoid highways and take who knows what route. See if this goes through to somewhere. Okay, I think I know where I'm at. But, you know, the trail's great for these kind of in-town trips where you're not going to need super high speeds. And, especially if you want to take it off-road a little bit. So I'm back to where I came from. That did not accomplish much. Well, I'll go this way. Another light. There's a balloon in the road. Hopefully that doesn't get thrown over my way. And I do videos where I go and explore different areas and talk about the urban legends and stuff. I just can't think of anything right now to film that's a decent amount of drive where it's not too far away. That would actually be interesting. I think this is a neighborhood. It'd be kind of cool to have. I guess I'll go this way. It'd be kind of cool to have the little castle-looking gates up on your neighborhood. But yeah, I just can't think of anywhere I haven't already done a video about that'd be interesting that's close. And two, there's a lot of stuff you can cover that I find to be rather, you know, a form of exploitation when you're talking about relatively recent, you know, murders and tragedies and things like that, where family are still alive, it's still pretty recent. So I've tried to shy away from doing anything like that. And more just focusing on stuff that, you know, urban legend where there's not, there's a decent likely, this is, you know, stuff where there's a decent likelihood that probably didn't happen, or if it did, it was years and years ago. So there's no, and especially like when there's no actual real first and last names attached to it, so you're not, you know, risking the person's family coming across it. But because the ideal would be to find somewhere I can go and do the exploration and incorporate the motorcycle. But I'm drawing a blank on anywhere to go do that. I mean, there's some places you could try to take this, but it'd be, you know, public space where you're not supposed to take a motorized vehicle. And then doing that and recording video of it and posting it online is probably not the savviest move. Alright, so I'll just turn here. I guess now I'm in the Audubon neighborhood, which is kind of an area around like Poplar Level Road, Preston Highway. You know, and I have this Trail 125, and I like it a lot. It's pretty low maintenance. I mean, the only things I really do myself is I go and occasionally clean the chain up on it and tighten it up if it's gotten loose. Kind of basic stuff like that. And I usually take it somewhere to do the oil changes and the regular maintenance. Because I had thought about looking at some of the different electric bikes out that would be kind of comparable to this. But they're so much more expensive because Can-Am, who, if you're not aware of, the main thing you probably see people riding that they make are the three-wheel motorcycles. where it's 2 wheels in the front, 1 in the back. The Can-Am Spider, you see a lot of those. They make a couple of electric bikes, and one, I guess, is somewhat comparable to this. It's like a on-road, off-road model. You know, generally around the same top speed as this, maybe a little bit higher. But they're like $11,000. So, a good chunk more money than this was. And then there's other options, like you can get KTM has the E-Freeride, which is an electric version of like their dirt bike, and they sell some street legal versions of it. But I was looking those up, and those are $10,000 or $11,000 too. And those are both brands where you could get service done through like a local dealer. You can also order the street legal version of the Sur-Ron Ultra B, which, depending on the state you're in, could be difficult to license. I know initially, years ago, a problem with a lot of the imported bikes like that is they didn't have a 17-digit VIN number that was registered with the appropriate authorities, so it was somewhat difficult to get it plated depending on the state you're in. But I think they took care of that. So the Ultra B is an option too. You can get a street legal version. Those aren't as much money. Those you can get between, like, depending on where you go, $4,000 to $7,000. And then on the low end, that would be more if you're comfortable ordering it from Alibaba or other places. You know, not like a US-based sales place where you can go in and see it. What the hell is this person doing? They got pretty close to the back of me. Is that little roundabout, you know, that area just went through is where the Louisville Zoo is. And this is Joe Creason Park over here on the left. Now this is getting more to be in the Highlands. But yeah, so I looked at those different options, and it's like, man, they're all money, you know, extra money, because I've already got, you know, bought this outright, so I don't owe anything. So I'll be spending a lot of money on something that's only comparable to what I already have. And then right now I'm on Trevilian, about to cross Newburgh Road, so Trevilian Way. I'll go through some of these side streets before I wrap up. Because right now there's going to be a lot of traffic from schools and stuff. So a lot of these roads around here are very hilly, like this. So homes that you would think, you know, depending on how well the roads are maintained during the winter, could be a problem. Especially getting in and out of some super heavily sloped driveways. And then if you park on the street, and make it less likely for things to get appropriately plowed. Guess I'll go this way. Actually, this will probably take me back down. Yeah, the other electric options, I'm like, well, that would just be getting it to make it electric. You know, performance-wise, they would have a similar top speed. You know, wouldn't be significantly higher. In some cases, it could be lower. And then with electric, you know, you have a finite range. some point you have to stop and charge, and usually those bikes have a big, huge charger block that has like fans and heat sinks and stuff in it. So not something you can just easily fit in a storage bag or something. And all of them would be over double the price of what I paid for this originally. Oh, aside from the Sauron Ultra Beam. I'm sure there's legitimate resellers you can find that are legitimate and easy to work with, but my garage is already kind of full as it is and doesn't need more stuff unless I start selling things. And these are some side streets that are kind of close to Atherton High School. The road on the left goes to one of the gates to get to their field. Some nice, you know, hills that probably are not showing the full scope on the camera. But, you know, this Trail 125, like I said, it's not super hard to maintain. It's fuel injected, pretty quiet. So I really like it. It's easy to ride around. People do occasionally stare. It's usually older white men that stare at it. It's not something that grabs the attention of... Well, no, I'll take that back, because the Segway X260 e-bike I've done some videos on, I've had kids yell at me and want to see it and stuff. On this, I had some dude that was probably like in his 60s, like try to chase me down and ask what it was. Which, don't do that. Just take a picture. You can look it up on Google. So, yeah, so I guess I can wrap this right up. I'm hoping that what I'll do is I'll find someone to go off-road. So I'll find somewhere to go off-road and throw that footage in. But if not, that's it till next time.